All right, here is the demo for the 1333 GAF Dual 8 and Super 8 projector. I'm listing this as seller refurbished because it has brand new belts, and the bulb is relatively new. It's not brand new, but it's relatively new. It comes with a take-up reel, and it comes with the hub, which slides off and lets you allows for Super 8, which is the bigger reels, or I should say the bigger hubs, and then the regular 8, which is the smaller hub. These are very important, and they get lost all the time with these, and if you're bidding on this for nothing else, you know, these are really hard to find for this projector because it is a specific adapter for this projector. They're not really universal. But anyway, so that's that. It comes with it. It's perfect. There's no cracks or anything in it. In fact, the projector overall, let's go over that first. It's in good shape. It's in really good used condition, I'll call it. It's not a museum piece. It's not perfect, but it definitely is, yeah, I would say in perfect working condition is a good way to call this. You know, there's some superficial dirt or maybe some paint wear up here and things like that, but overall, you know, the handle's all intact. It's the reels are in good shape. You know, there's some dirt in the reels and things like that. I mean, just from age really more than anything else. I'm going to put this in the, I'd say mid 70s, maybe early 70s. It's when GAF made a few different things, and many of you know them from the Viewmaster, and they also made a talking Viewmaster, which was a pretty cool thing from '74. So this is in that same vein, in that same time period, which is late 60s, early 70s, kind of after Super 8 came out, and many people had older films that were regular 8, and then Super 8 came along in '65, and everyone rushed out to buy Super 8 cameras, and so they didn't want to have two different projectors. They wanted one projector that would do both, and so many companies made what they call dual projectors, or dual format projectors, film format. And that's what it says right here. You probably can't see it in the video, but Dual 8, Super 8, and it is an automatic load. I am going to demo the projector. I'm going to show it working and everything else because for the simple fact that so many of these are on eBay and you never know what you're going to get when you buy it. People say, oh, you know, it's in good working condition or it's untested, and you know, they turn it on, the light comes on, but you have no idea if it's really going to run film correctly because the belts are probably shot. Like I said, this one has brand new belts in it. And so it's running perfectly. And this is the original take-up reel. It is a GAF take-up reel. You don't have to use, you can use really any auto-load take-up reel if you don't like this design. This design is okay, and it works pretty well, but I'm including it with the unit because it is a GAF. You probably can't see that here, but it does say GAF right on there. And it is, it's a measured, it does have the feet, 100, 200, 300, and 400, which are all the different size reels you're going to be faced with. The demo I'm going to show you, this is just a 3-inch reel. This is a 50-foot reel, just to kind of, for the purposes of this demo, to show you. But it will take up to a full 7-inch reel, which were the largest that held 8 of these. So it's a full 400-foot reel it will take, and I'll let you do that. I'll start with the cover. The cover is in great shape overall. It does have a crack here. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't really affect anything. It's a minor crack. If you had some super glue, you could fix it. I would do it, but I just want to show it as it is here. And it's a very easy crack. All you have to do is if you put a line of super glue there and just held it for 10 minutes, the thing would seal right up and you'd be fine. But it is, I like to show all the perfections just because then you know exactly what you're getting. I don't like to hide anything. But the sticker is still here. It shows your threading instructions, and also the cool thing about this projector is it allows you, well, first of all, this is your storage right here. Okay, this is where you store your take-up reel, so it pops right into place, and then it put it right on. It doesn't come out. The clips on it are still good, and that's what's stored there. But behind here is I'll take this off just so we can show that. The instructions are intact. These sometimes come off, but the cool thing about this projector, I'll say, is, I'll put that away for a minute. When you're in the middle of a reel, especially your bigger reels, And if you're really buying this to kind of see what's on your reels, maybe you don't really know and you kind of want to see what you have. It allows you to rewind the film when it's threaded, and no Bell and Howell will really let you do that. But this is a more modern design, of course, in the 70s. And if you go to rewind with the film threaded, it will quickly rewind your film. So it does not do reverse projection, but at this point nobody really cares about that, because usually you're just either interested in what's on your films or you're interested in transferring your film. So either way, forward projections all most people care about. Your focus control is here, and this switch here is for Super 8 and regular Standard 8. And it changes the sprockets a little bit inside, which the Super 8 had smaller sprocket holes and a little bit of a wider frame, and Standard 8 or regular 8 had bigger sprocket holes, spaced differently, and also the frame was a little bit more square. So it's a difference there too. Here's your framer adjustment for keeping the frame right on your screen, and then all the labels and numbers and things like that are all well intact. Nothing's loose here. It's all nice. Okay, so I'm going to show how easy this is to thread. It's not hard at all. I basically do this with it off because it's a little bit easier. But there's a chute right back here in between, and you kind of just get a feel for. You kind of stick it in and play with it. Let's try this again. Sorry about that. If you shut it off, it tends to yank it back, which is typical. It's protecting the film. So you let a little bit out the leader. I'm going to just let it run this time. Okay, there we go. So I feel that it's really coming down through, and now it should thread perfectly. Okay, so I'll put this aside. And now when I go to, I'm actually going to show this so you can see it work and everything. See, this is, here's the foot too for elevating the unit, so it will project, whatever height you want for your. This is a short distance, but sometimes you want something longer. Here it goes. Comes up here, grabs. It's beautiful. Okay, so it's pretty small, but there's your focus. Frame. Pull it back so you can kind of see. I'm going to cut the lights off to change the focus. There we go. Okay, so all the lights are off in the studio, and you can see that. I'm going to zoom into the picture, and you can kind of get a sense of. Oops. I'll move this a little bit so you can see. Sorry about the angle. I'm trying to get the whole shot in here, but you can see. See if I can come down on exposure so you can kind of see a little bit here. Okay. There, you can kind of get an idea. It's actually very clear. I'll move this. Oh, okay. That's a little bit better. You can see now how crystal clear it is. I hope you can see it. That's overexposed. Whoever took this, there it is, a little bit better. I'm going to zoom in even more so you can see. Well suited for doing anything really. It's a touch overexposed, but not too bad. You can see the framing works. I'll show you that. See? Frame it. Okay, I didn't turn the lights back on, but so you get the gist of. It's a small image. I mean, obviously it's meant to go for. So I go to off, and if I go there, see it rewinds it. Fast rewind. I didn't have to wait for it to end. It's pretty cool. And this will come off and go back to the. And there it is. So I shut it off. So that's a very cool feature. I love that. It also does work this way too. So if you run the film off the reel, and you're finished watching, it'll do the traditional bridge rewind, which is just from your take-up reel back to your supply reel. It will do that fine. But that is a quick demo to show you that it works, and I'm not trying to pull any wool over anybody's eyes on this. It does work. It's a great projector, and especially if you have reels that you don't even know what you have and you want to quick spot check them, As you can see, I was able to get a flicker-free image there. If you play with your exposure and your shutter settings on your camera, you can get it pretty close with the new cameras now. Even though this is not a multi-speed projector, you can still get pretty close for your standard playback speeds, which is usually in Super 8 would be, regular 8 would be 18 frames a second, and Super 8 usually was 24 frames a second with sound or without sound. I believe it was always 24. So for Super 8. And like I say, regular 8 was usually 18. So, one last thing to mention: the screen, the Elmo screen here, is not included with the auction. That's not included. It's just this unit, and not the reel either. This reel is my test reel. So it's just the unit, the power cord, which is attached. It does come with this, which is the hub for Super 8, and it does come with the cover again. And I'll show that. Maybe this will be better without all the lights on it. Probably not. But like I say, it does come with, the cover, the take-up reel, the hub, and of course the power cord, which is inside. It has been refurbished, new belts, relatively new bulb, so you should have years of enjoyment out of it. So anyway, that's the unit. Thanks.